Hi everyone, I'm Rue. If you're new here, this is where I debrief law of assumption with neuroscience, because I know a lot of us can't really believe things unless it's logical, and law of assumption is somewhat logical in the way it works. So that's what I do on this channel. I also have a Tumblr blog where I've been posting since ages at this point, actually. And so yeah, welcome if you're new here, and if you're not, hi, good to see you again. But anyways, for today's video, my clients struggle a lot with this about like, are emotions important to manifest, or is it just like repetitive affirming or robotic affirming? And also, again, if you see me looking down, I just have my notes. But anyways, there's a big argument about this in the manifestation spaces, but what is my take on this is you don't need intense emotions while manifesting. You can easily manifest anything with robotic affirming, but kind of both of them matter. Like emotions and repetition, both of these things matter. Now, why I say this? Because repetition is how you're like installing the assumption in your reality, okay? But emotion, it's just going to speed up the process. But either way, without emotion, you're still going to manifest because you're repetitively affirming. So let me tell you why repetition works exactly. So according to neuroscience, and I stand by this phrase, that your brain, it's a predictive machine. Okay, so it's learning constantly through observing, through consistency in your behaviors, in your environment, and it's not just about like the emotions. Okay, so it's like a pattern recognition thing. So if you go back to neuroscience, even in my last video I've talked about this. This is called Hebbian learning, where basically what it says is like neurons in your brain that fire together work together, or like wire together, bond better, basically. So every time you're repeating an assumption, you are strengthening that neural pathway. And it does not matter if you're bored, if you're tired, if you're emotionally neutral, if you're going through an episode, it doesn't really matter, because repetition, it's going to increase the synaptic efficiency of like the bonding of the neurons in your brain, which means the thought is going to become more automatic, more defaults in your reality, and you're going to see it around you, coming like manifesting around you. And this is why exactly robotic affirming works, and this is what I tell my clients to. It's more like you're training your brain the way your favorite song, you're like going to hear your favorite song a lot of times, and then you just like know it. It's your default. It's the same way. You're just telling yourself the affirmations, and then you just know it, and boom, it's there in your reality. That's how exactly it works. Now, let me come back to why emotions are going to supercharge the reprogramming of your mind regarding your assumption, regarding your reality or your manifestation. So when you feel something very strongly, your brain is going to release neurochemicals like dopamine and cortisol, and it's going to associate that particular memory with these chemicals. And this in neuroscience is called emotional salience, which is basically high emotions tell the brain that save this, prioritize this, make this part of your identity. Okay, and this is exactly why the trauma you have, it sticks so deeply in you. And this is also why you feel things very deeply when you visualize about your manifestation. Again, it's not necessary, so don't worry about that. And for a lot of my clients, when they visualize about their manifestation, it just clicks to them like that overnight, which I get. We saw the reason according to neuroscience. So emotions are just going to speed up the process, but you don't need them. Okay, but let me tell you, repetition is going to make this permanent. Okay, because the more you repeat, the more you know that's true, the more you're going to see that in your reality. Okay, so there's that. And let me tell you what is something which no one would tell you, but you should be glad about me. But I'm just kidding. But there's a real truth which no one is going to explain you, that repetition actually changes the structure of your brain. Okay, so you can actually reprogram your brain with high repetition, low emotion. Now, what this combination is going to do for your desire? It's going to be slow, but it's going to be stable. Okay, but if you have high emotion, low repetition, the desire is going to come back fast, but you're going to be unstable about it because it's not in your identity. Of course, it's manifesting. And if you have high repetition, high emotion, it's going to be fast and permanent. Okay, so most people fail because they do neither of this consistently. They wait to feel aligned and what bullshit this manifestation coaches are teaching you, and then they never repeat, and they repeat but they panic and they quit because they're not feeling good about it. So let me tell you, boredom is a sign that these affirmations, these like whatever phrases you're telling yourself, basically affirming about your desire, it's going to become more normal, and that's why it's boring. So if you feel bored while affirming, just know, wow, it's on the way, I can feel it. Okay, and let me give you a simple example about this. If you affirm, I'm very confident, I'm like the diva, and once in a while you're crying dramatically about this because you don't actually feel it, your brain goes, okay, interesting, what the fuck are you saying? And if you affirm this till 500 times over a week, your brain goes like, oh, that's our reality now. So the dramatic breakdown didn't really matter because you affirmed it, because you changed your thought about it. So this is how it works, but let me tell you how to use both for your benefit if you really are wanting to know about like how emotions and repetition, you can, if there's a way you can work it out together. Yes, there is. First of all, use repetition to build those neural pathways in your brain and to have them bond really strong. And then use emotions to deepen and, accelerate the process for you. But do not wait to feel emotions while you're repeating your affirmations. And do not panic when affirmations are going to feel boring. Just keep on going. Treat repetition like you're brushing your teeth. And like, it's not some out of the world spiritual ritual, okay? So it's like normal. Just do it. And you can add emotions into your routine through visualization, through scripting, through recalling memories about that, if they're safe, please, okay? About the desire and about planning what you're gonna do with when this desire is here. And most importantly, trust that your brain is learning and there is nothing you could do for it to fail. Okay, so there is no failing in manifestation. Either way, it's gonna be there. The techniques are just there to like help you fast forward it. So take your time, have a good time with this. And let me tell you one more thing because I have notes here and it's the experience from like my last session with a client. I told her that your brain is not going to go like, oh yes, she felt like butterflies, so let's manifest this now for her because she felt something. It's not going to do that. It's more like, oh my god, she said that 400 times or like even 100 times. Maybe that's okay. Maybe that's who we are now. So boom, the change happens. So this is how it goes. And if you want like structured techniques to reprogram your assumptions using both repetition and emotional conditioning, I offer personalized coaching and emotional support for y'all, where we break down your beliefs about your desires and we build new beliefs for you to step up, and also for you to use law of assumption, because that shit works. And I'm just not teaching you law of assumption, I'm going to back that up with neuroscience, and that's what I'm expertise. That's what my area of expertise is. So there's that. You can DM me, you can comment down here, you can reach out to me on Instagram, you can even check out my Tumblr blog, you can DM me there if that's what you need. I offer only a few open slots each week, so there's that. Because I'm sorry, right now I don't do group coachings. I used to do that before, but right now my work with you is like deep and it's like very personal to you. So there's that, but see you in the next one. I love you guys.